Hey, what's up guys, it's Great here, and in this video I'm going to be showing you how you can create your own manga slash comic book on your mobile phone using Medibang Paint Pro. Now this guy reached out to me, Krizensky, on Twitter, and he was asking how he could create a certain kind of manga illustration using his mobile phone, and it was in response to this video I made. If you haven't checked the video, it's a 1 hour long video on Medibang Paint Pro for a mobile phone, and I explained how you can create your own illustrations or whatever you want to do, designs basically on that software using just your finger, or if you have a stylus you could use something like that. So I'll be going more in detail in this video, and I'll be explaining to you guys how I go about this, even though I no longer use Medibang Paint Pro. But without wasting much of your time, let's get into it.
Okay, so this is the interface right now, and I will streamline this video for just manga or comic book creation. There are 5 tools that you need to take note of as your primary tools for creating manga on Medibang Paint Pro, and these are the pen tool, the eraser tool, the panel tool, dialog tool, and the material or texture tool. So before we get into details here, there is something I need you to know, and this is in drawing with your mobile phone. I highly recommend you to use a physical paper and pen for sketching out your panels. Then you take a picture or scan of that and import it to Medibang Paint for inking. Because of the technique we're going to be using for this video, we will need to have an already finished panel that's done traditionally. So how I start off, as you can see, I have a manga page I drew out just for this video. I'm taking a picture of this and I will go over it in Medibang Paint Pro. Now create a new canvas. The standard size for printing to use for manga or comic book, I think it's 2060 by 3131 pixels at 300 dpi, but you can look this up and find something that works. You can go up to 600 dpi for more resolutions if your phone can, if you have more storage and RAM space. Feel free to enable time-lapse if you have a large storage space, so you can have a video showing the process of the work. Once the canvas is open, the first thing I do now is to import the sketches and lay them to fit the page. Click on the layer icon and then click the plus button. Go ahead now to select an image to add from the list of options. Drag the magnification to adjust the size and fit your image in canvas. You can always adjust the size after importing the image by using the zoom in and zoom out function right here. Next step is to set your frame or panel border. Swipe the top toolbar to the right in order to access the comic panel function. Click the comic panel, then select add comic panel. Now leave the straight line border at 10 pixels and click add. Increasing the straight line border will increase the width of your border, so play around and find out what suits you. So we have a panel now. This is beautiful. What I do next is to overlay the imported image and make it a low opacity. So I go to the layer section and select the image, then reduce the opacity to somewhere around 30 or 40, and then select the border layer and begin cutting the border into panels. You do this by drawing your hands across the screen in the direction you want. So you can create multiple combinations just like this. So once you've divided your borders to fit into the comic book panel that you want, the next thing you need to do now is to start drawing. So you have to create a new layer for each panel to help keep things organized. Like I said in the first video, the best way to get good lines with just your fingers is to zoom in as deep as possible. Remember, you have already done the big picture traditionally, and this is just the details, so it's okay to zoom in as much as you can and focus on drawing, the details and making the lines come and look good. And in doing this, the first things I think you should focus on is the character. Don't worry too much about the backgrounds, the effects, the dialogue. The goal is to finish one part at a time. So after the characters, you can do the other parts. You can now focus on the background on separate layers. Once all the lines for each panel is completed and you are satisfied with them, you can merge all into one layer and rename it to keep your layer section neat and organized. Remember, you are drawing on a device that is limited, so you want to keep things as organized as possible to be able to be very productive with it.
Have right now. Alright, so this is what I have right now after going over the whole sketch that I have on this layer. You can see the sketch. Let me hide all of this. A. So yeah, you have it here, right here. So this is the clay manga, and I want to push this a little further by talking a little bit about screen tones that you see a lot in manga, and maybe comments and uh, conversation, the dialogue. Now, I don't think I'll go in depth in this video because I wanted to keep this as short and brief as possible, but at the same time try to give you as much value as I can. So for the screen tone, it's pretty simple. So first of all, I'll create a new layer right here, and I'll just select a portion with the magic wand selection tool. You can find it in the top uh, tool shelf or toolbar. If you scroll to the right, you're going to see there it looks like a small magic wand, yep, icon. So you use that and you click on the space that you want the effect to appear on, or whatever you want to do to appear on, like to mask the area. It does it does a good job to predict, but I don't need it to be super accurate here, so I don't really care. So the next thing I'll click is the bottom toolbar, the right uh the icon at the right here, right bottom. I click on that icon, looks like some couple of dots or something, um and then you click on cloud. When you click on the cloud icon, it will show you something like this to get. Okay, my data is turned off, so I'm going to turn it on right now and reconnect. You should turn up and show some screen tones and all of that stuff that you can download from the cloud. And if you download these things from the cloud, you can quickly just import it into your work. See, so there are a couple of screen tones I can pick from here. So just for the exercise, this is not the most perfect screen tone, so I'll just pick any one, and now I'm going to click on download. It says start downloading, check status on whatnot. All right, so it looks like it looks like it's done. So let me see where they appear. Okay, yeah, appeared in your tone. So I click on this. Aha, and see, it's affected on your work. And because that area is masked, that's the area it's going to only appear on. So I select it, and you can see the screen tone is appeared on that masked area. So it's just that. So that's just how it works. You can play around with it and find better use cases for this. I will just use the same tone. I just had an idea to use the same tone on this first page. It doesn't it's not looking so good. Wait, I wanted it to look very tiny and small. Alright, so what I'll do is reduce the size. Alright, so I'll reduce the size, I'll set it. And then I'll duplicate this layer. Click on this, duplicate, click on this pen, drag it to have it, and after duplicating, I'm going to merge down so it looks like it's one thing, and then I'll duplicate again and drag it to the other side, to the other end. All right, so that's what I got there, and I'm going to merge it with the layer down. I'll cut out the areas that I don't want with the rectangular selection tool. I think you should check out that video if you're confused about what I'm doing here. You should check out the 1 hour long video I spoke about. I talked about all the tools in depth. I showed you how to use all the tools. I spoke about every single tool and what it works, how it works in this Medibang software. So I select on this and click the eraser tool and simply, okay, I'm going to increase the size to like 500. and then erase. So what did I do? I just cut out that part. So I have a screen tone that I've applied on this. The screen tone I applied, I wanted it to be on this first panel right now. I think it looks good. You can't really notice it, but it's one of those subtle things that you see in manga, and it just improves the whole quality of the manga. And if not anything, the fact that it's used in manga, we're trying to replicate manga style here, or trying to draw our own manga on our mobile phone, should uh, should be a reason to stay with it. Anyways, on this fourth layer here, where this guy is doing some time hand kind of jutsu or something, I don't want to develop it because it's going to take me time, and I'm trying to keep this short as possible. So I'm going to talk about the uh, texts right now, the dialogue. So this is what I have right now. I already drew the panel, the dialogue boxes. I drew dialogue boxes. It was literally infused with the whole panel. I didn't draw the dialogue boxes separately, so I didn't create them as assets. I drew them, so they're like spaces that you have here that you can just put your text. But if it's a different scenario, different situation you have, and you have to put those assets, this is how you can get it. Click the same dot icon that we use to get the tone. Instead of clicking on you click back on the cloud, add from the cloud, that's add item from the cloud, and you go to, instead of tone or tile, you go to item. I think it should have some items here like dialogue. Okay, if you scroll down, you can find a bunch of dialogue boxes that you can simply use. Like this one now is special because it's like special effect, and you can pretty much just select all of them. See how I'm doing it? I think it'd be cool to just select all of them and install it on this software, just in case I need to make a another video like this, so I don't have to download them. So you can see there are tons of dialogue boxes. It doesn't matter what you're doing, it doesn't matter what you're showing. You have so much options, and it's not limited to dialogue boxes. You have different assets like cars and emotes and characters, full body characters that you can modify or that you can use as prop, in the background or something. And it has some form of motif or collage or something like that, different patterns that you could use on clothing and in your background, and just fill up your scene to make it look like, oh, something is going on there. So look very carefully. There are like different poses and angles of actual accurate figurines, male and female. So you see, it gives you a lot of assets that are very interesting. Oops, looks like my selections, I just refreshed and I lost all my selections, so I'm gonna cut this. So what you have to do now, if you want to input the text, is to click on this and go to item. Already I'm selected on item, but if you click on it at first, it might take you to tile. There's the screen tone and there is the item, so you just select what you want. And let's use this dialog box. You see, when you click whatever dialog box you click, it automatically appears. Say you want to put it here or something, like this guy saying something, you can simply flip it. You can flip it, you can rotate it to be different shape. You can reduce the size, you can free transform it. It's what it's called, like it's a free transformation function that if you click on the handles and just drag wherever you drag it to, it to freely transform the dialog box to the shape you want it to be. And if you don't like it, you can click on the X button to delete it. But I'm going to just put this here, and keep it here just for the sake of this video. And you see, it's right there. So if I do something like this, Could be, yeah, talking to him. Oh, now he's talking. Now he's the one talking. Okay, pull this up. Whatever. Well, yeah, you get the point now. You can simply put your dialogue and create amazing stuff with this. That'll be all for now.